here I am at Million Mask March in London. I came here last year and I was interviewed by Reuters, which was shown on the Daily Mail, and I exposed the government as being corrupt psychopaths. I came here this year and I was going to talk about Bitcoin, and I was going to ask for another interview with Reuters, but from what I could see there was absolutely no mainstream media here at all. I was going to say Bitcoin it's not controlled by any corrupt banks or governments. It cannot be hyperinflated, which is a hidden tax. It cannot be stolen by banks via a bail-in, and it cannot be stopped by government's capital controls. So any donations that I got today via Bitcoin to my address, I was going to give most of it to good causes. And by that, I do not mean charities. I do not mean charities run by fat cat CEOs.
Well, would you like to
so this is why I came here today.
Thank you.
No, you've got to move this way, thank you.
Keep filming, keep filming.
Keep filming, but you've got to go through that side of the
And I was the only person to infiltrate the police line at Parliament Square, and I was rugby tackled to the ground by the police, and they threw my sign over some railings of a government building. They threw my sign over, and I did my damnedest to get that sign back because I wanted to do my interview with Reuters and tell people Bitcoin is freedom, give some money to this Bitcoin address, and I will give it to a good cause. But they chucked over this railing and I got it back. So here I am. I got the sign back. Here I am. Send some money to my Bitcoin address. I'll make sure most of it goes to a really good cause.
It's not all over. The print one is people. It's 5:00 What's your banner about, lady? Excuse me, what's your banner about?
Did I miss anything out?
Yeah, what's your banner about?
Oh my god, how long have you got?
Just 10 minutes.
Oh my god, so I
know what Bitcoin roughly means.
Yeah, I got an interview last year by Reuters, it was shown on the Daily Mail, and I said how the government, they're all corrupt, they're psychopaths. This year I was going to look for the mainstream camera crew, ask for an interview, and say, there was a guy who came here, he was at an event 2 years ago in America, and he held up a Bitcoin sign. Overnight he was donated $24,000 in Bitcoin. I was going to say, let's beat that target, and most of the money would go to good causes. I would give it to accommodation for the homeless, or something where I know it's going to go directly to the people, not to some fat cat CEO from a charity or anything like that. So that's what I wanted to
introduce myself. I'm Andrew from Occupy London. I do a lot of live streaming for them, just so you know.
So this is going to go
directly, yeah.
I infiltrated a police line at Parliament Square, and
what's your first name?
Helen. My name's Helen. My Facebook name is Helen Elizabeth Julianne, and I will post this address publicly on my page. So when I infiltrated the police line at Parliament Square...
When you say you infiltrated a police line, what does that mean exactly?
There was a huge police line at Parliament Square, and lots of very rowdy protesters were there being very aggressive, and I was at the very end.
I'm near the palace in St James's Park. Sorry, somebody's talking to me online. Go on.
I was at the very end of the line, and the policeman right next to me was talking to somebody who was distracted. He was a very tall copper, and his arm was up as high as my head.
There's
very, very high.
Around. There are people around.
So I knew, because he was distracted, his arm was so high, I could see I'd just duck under and go, and I thought this would be good coverage for my sign. The reason why I didn't write anything about where the money was going to on the sign is because apparently you need a license to for such causes in public. So I infiltrated the line and I was rugby tackling the ground.
So basically you're a Bitcoin advocate?
I am, yeah.
So I've got a friend called John A who's really into all that, and I've known loads of people actually, very heady kind of people. Like, can I tell you what I think? I mean, for what it's worth. I'm not really an expert on money or economics either, but I know enough to say this, which is that I feel that Bitcoin is vulnerable to the same kinds of manipulation as money full stop that we have already. In the sense
it
that
can't be hyperinflated because every 4 years the production's halved. So that's one, A. B, you can send this money abroad without extortion fees. So a lot of people, they're working in this country, sending money back home to their family who are poor, and they get charged, a lot of these companies are charging sometimes 10% fees, so there's no fees also. And then obviously with the capital controls, the government can't, if you've got problems in Greece, China, if you've already got the BitCoin, obviously if you can't get your money out of the bag, they had limits on how much you could withdraw from the cash point in Greece, then you can't get the money out to buy Bitcoin. But if you were prepared and already had the Bitcoin, then you could transfer whatever money you wanted out of the country.
right, so there's two advantages then. One is that it doesn't cost a lot of money to send abroad, and the other one, what does hyperinflation mean exactly?
Well, if the government is, they have their quantitative easing and they're pumping the money out, it's inflating them. Inflation is like a hidden tax. So every 4 years, it's around every 4 years that the production is halved.
Right.
It's going to be halved next year, which will be after 3 years.
Okay.
So it's a bit slightly different than what they were expecting.
Yeah.
You can't judge it perfectly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's going to be 21 million Bitcoins in total, and there's already 14 million in circulation.
And what does it actually mean to have 14? Is that like pounds or how much is Bitcoin worth?
At the moment, it's around. I haven't looked at the price for quite a few hours, and considering what's been happening the last 2 days,
What has been happening in the last 2 days?
The price went from 200 and something to 500 in a very, very short period of time, just a few days or something like that, and then it crashed back down to earth, and I don't know what's going on now. I haven't looked at the price for a few hours, it could be anywhere.
So it's roughly worth £2, £3?
It's, for one Bitcoin, the last time I looked was around $400. But the thing is, what people don't realise, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Bitcoins go to 8 decimal places, so they're divisible by 100 million units.
Oh, this is much too mathematical for me.
So well, at the moment, 100 millionth of a Bitcoin, which is called a Satoshi, is not even worth a cent. So you wouldn't send that to anybody to do anything with, because you can't do anything with it. But if the demand goes up and it becomes more used, and the price of a coin goes to hundreds of thousands of dollars, then a Satoshi may end up being worth a cent.
Okay.
But at the moment, it's not even worth a cent. So, but you can go to 8 decimal places, 100 millionth Bitcoins.
Wow, you know a lot about this.
I've been obsessed with Bitcoin.
Can I ask, how did you get really interested in all this stuff?
My friend sent me an email about it around 6 years ago, and I just looked at it and deleted it, which is one of the biggest mistakes of my life. Back then, you could just put a program on your laptop, click generates, and have hundreds of these every week for nothing, literally nothing. And I just deleted it because I just was going through my emails, delete. Around the same time, my brother independently heard about Bitcoin as well via Alex Jones's radio show. Max Kaiser was on there and talking about this. But my brother.
Oh, we got to get out the road.
My brother.
Please keep moving. Please, have fun, please. Have fun. You're going to be moved on.
She's educating me.
Oh, is she? Oh, bless you.
It's true about
Just keep moving because the police are in the way. We're coming through. If you want to walk into the park, do move out of the way.
Which way are we going then?
This way. Wherever you like. You've got to keep moving because I'm moving behind you.
Can we go that way then?
Exercise. No. Keep moving.
Why are we not going that way?
That's okay. Keep filming.
It scares me when people are saying keep moving.
Oh, sorry.
I've got arthritis. I'm not capable of moving. That part.
Do you want me to speak to you about the Bitcoin?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so 6 years ago, independently from me, my brother heard about Bitcoin on the Alex Jones channel. My brother's a genius. He's like a mathematician. And he thought, oh my God, this is interesting. I must look into this. But my brother is bone idle. So he didn't look into this. We both had a little tear.
Listen, I can't really do this.
Multi-millionaires for zero outlay. Biggest mistake of our lives. Huh?
So you became a millionaire very quickly?
We could have become multi-millionaires. If my brother wasn't bone idle and I wasn't ignorant, we would have been
I see. So you're explaining me your original interest. I got it.
You can still become a multi-millionaire because if it takes over 10% of the forex market,
What if you don't want to be a multi-millionaire? I mean, does everybody want to be
hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm going to give it all away, and most of it I'll give it all
Oh,
away.
yeah,
You know, I
that's
just want to
true. A lot of
swim.
people need
I
that
love
money.
swimming. I just want to swim pool. That's it. So I'm not interested in big mansion or a freaking big car. I'm not interested in that crap. You got your